You know, chums, over here in the United Kingdom, and in particular London, we're often being told that London is open for all. It's totally inclusive, and as ever, everybody's welcome. In fact, so much so that the current mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, recently had all of these posters put up at great expense up and around the tube network, on bus shelters. Of course, you know, he's not paying, you are. Just to remind everybody that London loves you. Oh yes, and is welcome and open to all. That is, of course, until you scratch the surface. As ever, let me explain. Lovely to see you, chums, on a very beautiful day here in the very heart of London, in the United Kingdom. If you're over here and you do see me about, I no doubt we'll be melting together somewhere. Couldn't you just murder an ice cream? If you could pick an ice cream now, chums, which would it be? Mine would be a flake, I think, 99, you know, flake with the thing. Oh yes, and some of that raspberry ripple sauce, gorgeous, isn't it? When you're melting, it's funny how your mind wanders off, isn't it? And you think, yes, I wouldn't mind some. What would yours be? Many people know, of course, I also like the FAB lollies, Fab lollies. Do you remember those from Thunderbirds way back? But of course, there's so many new ones now, isn't there? That you almost need a second mortgage to buy one. Some people might say you might need a second mortgage when you look at this. Trust me, as I said, this is an interesting thing actually, because as you can imagine, summertime, summer jobs, lots of students, lots of people trying to break out into the workplace, look at the world of internship to think, okay, maybe this is a wonderful opportunity to break through. But time and time again, there are mixed messages, you know? And what I've also pointed out to you before here in the United Kingdom is right now, if you're like me, fair-haired, fair-skinned, and of course green, blue-eyed, whatever it is, well suddenly, no, you're not welcome. Oh no, if you don't believe me, it's this. You see, as you see, recently the Mayor of London pointed out that, well, this poster campaign that was going to go through, suddenly, no, it didn't represent London. He had it all pulled at the 11th hour, and they decided that this image was more becoming of what he saw as London should be. So, as you can see, a typical white British family, nowhere to be seen, but him, yes, always him, surrounded by people. Well, that's the look, that's the imagery that he wanted. So consequently, if you're looking, say, for a job this summer, you might want to look at one of the world's biggest transport networks. That's right, TfL, Transport for London. And you think, okay, you know, what's their internship like? So you look at that and you think, well, okay, maybe I could apply for this. You get a little bit further down and this is what you find. Yes, as I pointed out, the bottom line is, it's not exactly open to all inclusive, and of course you are loved, welcomed and wanted in London. Now, how does this get complicated? Well, it gets complicated because that's right, the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, is on the board of TfL. He would oversee all of this, and right now this has been presented to him, but so far he's failed to mention or indeed rebuff this. So you can understand why people feel very much so, and as ever, I'd love to know what you think to this. If you're a 16-year-old thinking, could I get that intern job just for the summer? Do I fancy a career in transport, maybe being a tube driver or working behind the scenes doing all that very difficult work of the, network stuff? Well, no, because they're very, very clear about the sort of people that they want. Now, the thing that I find incredibly annoying is the fact that it isn't open for all. And also, when you're that age, you're just looking for a break. It's bad enough trying to get a break into the world of work under this current government. A government, of course, that's backed up by him. And if you remember, he famously said that Donald Trump didn't like him because of the colour of his skin. Remember that? Well, seemingly Sadiq Khan doesn't like people like me because of the colour of my skin. Otherwise, he wouldn't agree and sanction and put out ads like this, would he? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.